cool things. Okay, so you did your homework and
So I did the homework, and like I said, I've done a lot of work on this. So like I don't have any negative things about money itself. I, feel like I deserve it, all of that. But I found that out of all of the different beliefs that I ran through the framework,
yeah,
the theme that came out was that I believe I have, like, that there's loads of abundance and prosperity available, but that I can't access it unless I am more or I can be more. So it's like always just a little out of reach. And then the thing that came out of it for me was that I don't value, like, the actions that I take don't value me. Like, I don't value myself in the actions I'm taking currently, like getting enough sleep. And so it can't come in because it's like I'm always projecting it. If I just do this next thing, then I'll reach it. But I'm not
right.
doing things that, like,
Well, you're going out to grab it. Um,
yeah,
yeah, that's great because that's a great realization because the whole paradigm of this is that it's actually coming out of you. So
yeah,
you're busy going over there and instead of nurturing this, the
yeah.
source of it, you're reaching for. Oh, that's a great realization. So why
But
wonder
I even saw I do it, like, I've just finished a piece in my business that, like, took me ages to put together, and it's working, like, it's making sales, but I need to focus on it to grow more people going into the funnel. And
right?
I immediately turned my focus to, like, the next big thing. I was like, okay, that's done. So, but now I could go after hedge funds, and I'm like, the thing you've created is now sitting there and you're neglecting it. Like, this is already working. It's making sales, and now you're ignoring it to, like, go. So I thought everything that I create that, like, is valuable, or even me being valuable, I'm like, yeah, whatever, next.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really great and it's a really great recognition of that pattern. Yeah. So did you end up changing your modal, like did you end up going back to that or you just saw it and
No, well, I only kind of realized it today, but it was useful because I'm actually in a point where I'm like, I'm even talking to other people around trying to put the whole broader vision of the business together. But it's made me realize I need to focus on, like, the present. I can't jump from the steps that are in front of me to the bigger picture, which I enjoy kind of more, is always the strategic thinking. So it was like, you actually just have to make this piece work and give this priority in the other pieces. And then also, like, yeah, I'll, eat better and sleep more and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely, like, it's really useful timing because it's actually coinciding with a whole lot of other things that are happening as well. So it's, yeah.
yeah. Wow. I'm not sure if you're the only person who's going to come today. So we should just start. It's 4 minutes after.
Sure. Yeah.
And everybody else can watch. Hi, everyone. I know Keikoa had a ceremony last night. Okay, here comes Susanna. Everybody's just late. I know he might not be here, and I'm not sure about anybody else. Susanna. Aloha.
Hi.
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 How are you?
Good. Sorry, my Zoom was updating.
Oh,
So
yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm like, okay,
thank
now I switched to the phone, but now it seems to be the computer. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
I,
Okay. You switch over anytime like you want.
I think I will because it's more convenient.
Okay, sure. Yeah. She goes away, she comes back. Yay, there she is. How quick. That's great.
Yeah, if it's quick, it's quick.
Yeah.
If it's updating, it's
Done. Good. Good. So we just heard from Creda about some realizations that she had this week. You want to summarize that, Creda?
Basically, I did all the homework and found that I have a belief system that, like, money is available to me and I deserve it, but that I can't access it. And it's because I keep not valuing what I currently have. I keep, projecting into the future, like, when I do this, then I'll have the money, even though I know I could have it now. So it's like I'm not valuing it. It's available to me now, but I'm not valuing myself and the ways that can make it.
Wonderful. Yay. Susanna. Did you have any did you complete your homework and did you have any learn anything, any pennies drop about how you operate, what your belief systems are?
I haven't written the homework because every time I have to admit, after 8 months, I took a break. So it was my first week in work.
Oh, wow.
So
Yes.
I was every night I took my booklet and I fell asleep.
Okay. Okay.
But
yeah.
many magical things happened.
Okay.
So I wanted to do a course and I received a voucher, like
Great.
a discount. And they said, no, it's not possible, blah, blah, blah. And then I received an email, it's okay. You get 20% off or 30% off.
Wow.
And I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Great. Wow.
And I don't know. It was like a shift. And every time I was biking, I bike uphill. So it's very steep.
Mhm.
And I kept imagining I have abundant of energy available to do this mountain. And then one time I biked even much further than I needed to because I was so in
Excellent.
to
Excellent.
bike down.
Wonderful.
So I think, I really processed a lot what we talked about, that money is energy, and then that it's also a being that I can say hello and then acknowledge.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think I'm getting friends with money.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
So I love this approach, and I really wanted to recall even the Zoom, the last because the things you say, it just really clicked. I don't know what it just clicked. I don't know, something like
Great.
with Greta, that it's like these beliefs you like. The most important belief was, I think, that I can just receive.
Yeah.
So this was like, no, I have to do something to get something.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wow, I don't have to do anything. I just earn it because because I am.
Right. And then the voucher.
And that really, even my tears are coming because it's so
Yeah.
touching. I always had to do things, and I always had to. That's how I grew up from my family. My mother always giving, my father giving, and
Yeah.
my brother is the opposite. He's just chills and he gives when, but he always has enough. He always receives, so he seems to get it.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Um,
I want to say two things about that. One is that giving is a fantastic family member. We call it Ohana inside. This quality that we have, this quality and desire and ability to give. It's a beautiful family member, but when it's in charge of the whole movie, our whole outlook, and we can't do anything or receive anything without giving, then it becomes no longer an ally, right?
yeah.
It's a barrier. So, like our greatest strength can also be our greatest weakness. Like Kreda, I think about you and your visioning of the expansion. This is a great strength, but if it's taken and used in the wrong place, then it's a weakness, right? So wonderful. And the second thing I wanted to say, here comes Aurora. Aurora. Aloha. Oh, she's here. Aurora. Okay. Aurora, I can't see you, but I think you're figuring something out. So I'll just continue while we're waiting for you. So the second thing I wanted to say is this thing about the bike. So Credo was just asking me about movement and embodiment. And I was saying it's this is a class that is designed for you to take in the information and then go out in the world and see how it lands in your embodied experience. However, this thing about the bike, it reminded me of something that I've done in the past. And guys, it's like magic. And it's very, very simple. It's usually for me, I don't bike right now, but I walk. And you can do it with any movement that you're just with you and you're not like chatting with somebody else. So when I walk, if I'm kind of like opening in this way, I say to myself, I walk in abundance. I walk in abundance. And then I notice, or I walk in prosperity, whatever is. And at times if I've been having health challenges, I'd say I walk in vitality. I walk in well-being. I walk in, but I've used it a lot with money and prosperity. abundance and prosperity. And if you not only say that, but then you notice how your body changes as you walk, that's the key. So for me, when I walk, and just like Susanna saying, I have an abundance of energy, and here I go, and now you're moving, right? In a different way. What I notice when I say I walk in abundance is I notice my body relax. Places I didn't even know I was holding tension. And then sometimes images come to me like I'm walking on gold coins. And then all of a sudden I look around and go, wow, there's such an abundance around me. There's an abundance of leaves. There's an abundance of grass. There's an abundance of clouds. There's like all this just like landing right here in my environment right now. And I see things that I didn't see before. I feel things in my body I didn't feel before. And I see things, and I think there's something magic about it being in motion while you're moving. That's the magic. It's very different than just sitting here and saying, I sit in abundance, or I know I'm abundant. That's more of a mental thing. But as I walk, it's almost like all my cells are saying that, and magical things happen. If I ever feel any contraction or stress, I just remember to do that on my walk every day. And all of a sudden, oh, it's because it changes my vibration around it in an embodied way. Aurora, I can't hear you or see you, but I'm trusting that you're here, and we're recording the session. So aloha, if you're here. There you are. Okay. So Susanna and Creda just shared anything that came through for them this week in the homework or in their experience. Did you have any pennies drop anywhere, any different experience? Oh, you're on mute. Mute. Yeah.
For me, it is a really difficult week because I'm really feeling sick. I'm not feeling well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I have this terrible PMS. I don't know, so my painful days.
Okay.
So I'm not feeling really well, but yeah, so it was really difficult to concentrate to something else.
Okay, no worries. But you'll watch the video. Watch this video, watch the beginning of it, and you'll hear how Creda and Susanna, what happened in their week, okay?
Okay.
An idea. Okay. So today, guys, the topic is stepping into natural order. And so the ancients saw everything as happening naturally, and that there is a natural order to things. So in our universe, the sun is in the middle and the planets revolve around. This is a natural order. And there are animals and people have children, and then there is the parent and the child, and how the household goes, the parent is in charge and the child is learning. This is natural order. And so there are many kauna of natural order, many depths of natural order. And so two things about that. A source in the ancient belief system is running through everything equally, yeah? But when you land yourself in the perspective of one aspect of that universe, it could be a leaf, it could be an animal, it could be a child, it could be you. From the perspective of that being, they become the origin point, as we talked about, of your perception. So in a sense, they become that from your perspective, source is pouring through, begins here and is emanating out into the world. And I don't know if anybody has seen the quantum physics experiments. I don't know if it's quantum physics, but it's physics, where they have said, you can find this on the internet, that every point in the universe is the center. There is no center in the universe. Every point in the universe is the center. That means your elbow is the center of the universe. That means your skin cell. That means the blade of grass. And that means your consciousness. So wherever is the origin point of perception, that becomes the center of the universe. If you understand what I mean? No? Yes. Capito? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So, and on a different kauna, source is pouring through every cell of our bodies. So we are an emanation of that mysterious life force, and we are pouring it out into the world. So each cell is actually the center of the universe. It's the origin point of everything. So we're living in a universe that is actually, if you can take out our conceptual vision of who we are and what we're doing, we're living in a universe in which life force is the source, and it's pouring through and emanating through everything. So this is infinite abundance. We're living in a universe of infinite abundance, and it doesn't matter what we think or believe about it, that's what's happening. The trees are growing, your body is growing, and your heart is beating, and all of that is this unlimited source. And that expands out into, okay, we're the perceivers of everything. So that expands out into what we perceive. So what we perceive is also source speaking. And it's speaking directly to us through our perceptions. So one exercise actually that we didn't get to last time, which actually I think you guys did kind of anyway, is to look at the circumstances of your life that you think you have nothing to do with, and imagine that you created that as a gift to yourself to show you something. So if, for instance, somebody said, I think, it always seems like I have a lot of money and then I lose the money, and it comes in and it just goes out. So if you were doing that to yourself as a lesson, what would you be trying to say to yourself? But I think you guys ended up doing it, because in a situation like that, I would guess kind of like Creda's realization, oh, I don't have the capacity to hold money. I don't have the capacity to save. I'm not valuable enough for things to gather in my world. So I think you ended up doing it. But as you move forward, make sure that when you see things coming towards you, circumstances, that you don't just put them outside of yourself as something that's happening to you, that you remember that you're a participant and that this is your life speaking to you, for your benefit. Okay. So the exercise today is, how can we take our place at the center of our universe, the center of our lives, both in giving and in receiving? So if you're a chronic giver, you don't have to worry about the giving part. You have that down. You are well practiced. You know how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do right now is write down all the things you have given yourself in your life from day one. All the things you've given you. And this could be, again, quote unquote positive, quote unquote negative. So for instance, myself, so my positive is I gave myself fantastic parents. And then the deeper kauna of that, I gave myself parents who taught me independence, who gave me an opportunity to feel on a certain spectrum, and parents who taught me boundaries. So whatever I thought about the negative aspects of my parents, that is what I've turned it into. They've taught me boundaries. Like when we had fights and I wanted to do things and they didn't want me to do them, I've turned that into, they taught me boundaries. That's great. Yeah. So where do you live? Where did you grow up? What have you given yourself in your life? And these are things that you would normally just think are things that happen to you. Oh, I happen to be born in Ireland. I happen to be to have these parents, to have this brother that I don't get along with, I blah, blah, blah. Understand? But you're putting it in the context of you gave it to you. So you want to write at the top, I have given myself, and then write your list. Make sure you include what may be negative. So if you've had perhaps some grief in your life, you've given yourself the opportunity to love deeply. You've given yourself educational opportunities, fantastic vacations. Any fears? You need help. I can help.
Don't want to disturb the others. No.
Okay.
Do I make like columns for positive and negative, or just how it comes?
It's up to
Because
you.
I feel overwhelmed. I have just so
You
much
have
in my.
so much. Yeah. Well, make columns if it makes it easier for you. Sure.
I don't know. Oh.
Yeah. Just whatever makes it easier. But they could all be together. But when you do come up with the negative, make sure that you find the kauna in that
Mhm.
if you can. Can't, it's okay. Just one thing at a time. Perhaps you've given yourself love in many forms, and animals, humans, friends.
Hi.
Okay, a couple more minutes. And also think about qualities that you are. Strength. Creativity, generosity. could have given yourself many challenges, difficult experiences.
Would that have to be framed positively if you said like many challenges? Are you trying to find the positive version of it? Or?
Yeah, yeah, it would be handy if you can. If you don't have to. But if you have specific challenges like I don't know, painful breakups or even abuse is difficult, right? So once that happens, as we look back, how did that form us and shape us into the human that we are today? It contributed something if we were able to metabolize it. Even if it's, you know, it made me a more cautious person. That can be a good thing, can also be a fearful thing. So yeah, if you can. We wanted to get very detailed, which we won't today, but you can continue this after. I mean, if you have favorite things that you love in your life, you also gave yourself that stuff. So if you splurged and bought the, you know, your most favorite car and you love it and you love driving it, and you gave yourself that. You gave yourself all the stuff you have. You gave yourself your most favorite piece of jewelry.
Mm.
Gave yourself, you know, a special crystal that you bought or somebody gave to you. Even if somebody gave it to you, in this we're seeing it as we gave it to ourselves. That came into our field of source. It's your universe giving it to you in different forms. Yeah, so just to be clear, when I say you, it's source. It's not you and your personality. You didn't come into the world and magically create all these things. But as you are an opening for source, that's what source reflected to you. That's what source brought back to you. So I'm not saying you personally, personality-wise. But this exercise is designed for you to re-identify yourself, to reframe all the stuff that's coming towards you, and what is your relationship to that? It's source meeting source, and you as the origin point in your particular perception. Aurora, do you have cramps?
Yes.
Cramps. You know what can work really well on cramps is cold. A cold pack.
Yeah, I tried.
You tried it?
Actually, yes. When I was in your class, you know,
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
Switzerland, we
Didn't work.
tried, but it was not really the first time, but
Yeah. Okay.
I don't so.
Okay, thought I mentioned it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it can also shrink everything that's swollen. But sometimes different things for different people. Okay.
I think my problem is more like here.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to do about that actually. But you are, I have faith you are figuring it out. Okay. Okay, so who wants to read some or all of their list? Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do.
You want?
It'll help you to say it out loud. Mhm. Don't all rush to be the first.
Okay, I go first. Again, we said it at the same time, Gret.
Okay, good. Okay, Susanna, you go.
Hey, okay. I have given myself amazing parents who taught me boundaries to help people and to support each other. And to travel countries for work and to move a lot. And this made me flexible and to adapt fast and to feel at home in the world. They taught me the opportunity to learn cooking and the language of food, to share with family, the language of love. And this taught me to share food is in family is important, no matter, you know, it's like you don't have anything, but you always have food. So it's like a welcoming, something that is very kind. And like in Hawaii, you know, you always have something to eat. You never go hungry, you never go empty-handed. It's something very traditional in our family. And wherever you go, you bring food. Wherever you go, you eat food. As yeah, I have a big family, lots of cousins, uncles, and aunties, and also I give myself a lot of teasing. It's a very popular Hungarian thing to tease people for their you round little thing, don't eat that cucumber. I'm like
Okay.
So that's a very interesting thing in Hungary. But I learned to be my own source of happiness with this, that I don't, you know, I was always sad and but I really learned to, okay, it's like this, but I don't, my happiness doesn't depend on them. And if they don't like it, it's not my problem. It's their reflection and their misery. Yeah. So this is my own source of happiness is me. So yeah, I learned a lot to take care of gardening, and even though I hated it as a child very much, to go out and water the plants, and I learned so much. I'm very grateful and about animals and plants, and my dad and my grandparents, they taught me a lot. They had a big farm. And they also taught me I learned that even if it's I grew up in the old Soviet Union, so it was very hard to earn money, but my parents, they made it anyway. They went to Germany where they earned for the same money, like 5 times more.
Right.
So they were very smart, but this meant that to work hard and leave family and leave the roots. Well, it was possible. So they made out of nothing everything. So I think what was in that time possible, right? So it was, yeah, they had. Sorry, now that I think about it, I learned a lot to actually adapt this to my life now.
Yeah, you gave yourself that.
Actually, yeah. And I learned to leave the nest very soon, to be on my own 2 feet, probably because my parents they taught me boundaries, and it was too much boundary for me. So I taught myself freedom
Mhm,
to I do what I want to do and not what they want me to do.
mhm, mhm.
And so it made me a lot of persistence and perseverance, I would say.
Mhm.
Very stubborn, my friends call me sometimes. But it helps me to achieve my goals anyway. So to keep even if it's a little bit, just do it. This is why they taught me. And also in relationships, I gave myself the opportunity to not to bend myself for anyone, and I learned to be authentic. And I don't need to bend myself to be loved or to give or to do some things for people to love me. That's also a thing of receiving. You know, I earn to be loved because I am who I am, and
Yeah.
I learned to give, to be authentic, and not to be afraid of being me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this exercise is so cool.
You gave all that to you. Imagine.
Oh, wow. No, because it's very cool to write it down. It helps a lot to
Mhm.
realize and to speak it out loud. Words have power. I feel this is really thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, of course.
And, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is it.
Okay. And you gave yourself a beautiful apartment, I see, or a house.
Oh yeah, I'm so grateful for this. I can tell you, I'm just renovating and cleaning everything because I rented it, and I gave myself the opportunity to rent it to somebody who didn't take care of it as much as I do.
Uh-huh.
So
So now you can redo everything. What a great opportunity.
exactly.
Yeah. Good.
So I'm
Excellent.
very happy. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Susanna. What, and you can see, I'll say after. Okay. Creda, you were going to go.
I found this exercise hard. I don't know if I'm like getting it fully. So mine isn't as specific as that. I kind of was thinking more of like taking responsibility for the things that happened in my life. I came at it sort of through that approach. So in some ways, some of them are independence and autonomy, a career that I love, the opportunity to love deeply, coming from lots of relationships, the opportunity to follow my heart, and the means to be self-employed, capacity for huge emotional empathy, parents who taught me emotional depth and the value of boundaries, more because the lack of boundaries that then I realized I needed them. The strong professional network, many adventures in different parts of the world, the opportunity to make a global impact on mental well-being, inner strength, the opportunity to deeply connect with other cultures and to learn other languages, friendships that are aligned with my soul self, love in many forms, opportunity to learn the power of vulnerability, and valuing myself. So my list is kind of like that. I don't know if I
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It reminds me what I have missed out.
Okay.
Because that's really cool. Thank you. I love
Slightly different perspective, but I want you also to, as your homework, Creda, write down the positive things that you have received. Like these are all things that you turned in, challenges that you turned into positive.
Not all of them challenges, like no, some of them are just like opportunity to travel the world and stuff.
Okay.
That was
right. So the idea of it is to reframe your life with you as the source. So if you love Ireland and you gave yourself the opportunity to be born in Ireland, if you whatever it is, if you love to windsurf, you gave yourself the love of that and the relationship with the ocean, and all these, like, think about things that really inspire. It's like some of those things would, I guess, but think of the really inspire you, that are just boom, like that maybe even came into your life that you didn't ask for, or they just
So
happen?
like going to Hawaii was like, that's had a huge impact on my whole life. And that, I guess, I gave myself that opportunity when I didn't know how valuable it was.
Yeah.
When I was like booking the trip kind of thing.
Yeah, you gave yourself a trip to Hawaii that changed your life. That's,
Yeah.
so make sure you write that down like that. So this is a reframe. Yes, Susanna?
I had the same, Greta. I had the same.
What a, like amazing place.
Trip to Hawaii that changed your
Yeah.
life. Yeah,
It changed my whole course of.
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful. Yes, you gave, that's all that stuff you gave to you. So just keep that in mind as you complete your list this week. Aurora?
So I give myself parents who didn't love themselves, so they weren't able to love me, but that helps me to find love for me every day. I give myself a wonderful grandmother that taught me everything about creativity, beauty, and love. I give myself more cats and more dogs, and created with them a real, true friendship. And I give myself friends who taught me to be a better person. I give myself nothing to do for a long time of period, just to contemplate life. I give myself a lot of play in the nature and freedom, and stay out, not inside in the home. I give myself a lot of doubt, self-doubt about my future and career. I give myself a terrible ex-boyfriend for comprehend then what is true love and how love works. I give myself a lot of traveling so that I can understand that home is not that is like what I'm truly was thinking about traveling is that I wanted to find a new home.
Yeah.
But the home is me, so I don't have to find another home. I gave myself the time to learn and apologize myself for the things that I not doing like correct, but it's part of me. So yes, so it's okay.
So kind of like yourself the chance to accept yourself.
Yeah,
What?
accept myself. It's
Accept it.
sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working.
Okay.
I give myself beautiful flowers, fresh flowers, so that I can admire them every day. But also they don't last, so it's like not more plants that I have to take care. It's not something like do to the duty. I gave myself a lot of stuff so that I can learn, so that I learned that I actually want to be minimalist.
Okay.
I give myself a lot of generosity, and I give myself a lot of judgment.
Judgment. So how can we, what is the positive, what is the gift of judgment, self-judgment and self-doubt? What is the gift of that?
Maybe the focus the view of something like to see something in another view.
Like room for improvement, perhaps?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, room for improvement. And self-judgment and self-doubt, to me, I think of the word discernment, where I feel, oh, this is helping me, this is not helping me. So discern, like seeing what is helpful, what is not helpful. That can be really helpful, even though we're looking at our weaknesses sometimes. So discernment, again, just like the family member that we spoke about last week with giving, generosity, it's very helpful. Discernment is very helpful. But when it gets blown up and takes over everything, then it becomes judgment or self-doubt. So then that family member, that's not its rightful place in charge of everything. It's good when we need it. So it's good to be discerning. Oh, okay, I can do this a bit better. That's okay. Yeah, let me look and see how I can do that better. Great, I grow. But if there's the judgment that's everything, kind of like, oh, now I did this wrong, and now I did this wrong, and now I did this, that's pushing you down, then it's not in its rightful place. That's a different kind of part of the paradigm, but not part of really this course so much. But I just wanted to throw that out to you, Aurora.
Thank you.
Because this came up a few times, also with Creda and the visionary part, I want you to notice this week, homework for this week, notice any internal family members, meaning any aspects of you that seem to take over from time to time. They take over your perspective, just like I've described with discernment and judgment, with giving and then chronic giving, with visionary and then forget about what just happened. I'm already somewhere else, not coming into the present moment. So just notice, and if you can in the moment notice it, pause. Just pause for a split second, even if you're in the middle of a busy day, and just take a breath, one breath, and just say, okay, I noticed that. I noticed that family member taking over, and then continue on. You don't have to change anything necessarily. You might want to, but you don't have to change anything. I just want you to pause in that moment of recognition and then keep going. And if you can later, write it down at the end of the day. Oh, I saw this family member today. I saw this family member take over the whole movie. Okay. That would be good homework for you guys. Okay. So yes.
It applies also for work, like if at work, or just family members?
No, family. I mean, internal family members.
Okay.
Inside of you, your qualities.
Okay.
Yeah, your qualities, meaning my desire to give would be a family member. My give.
Okay.
Yeah. My anger is a family member. My fear is a family member. It's more when we start studying the Lomi Lomi that we work a lot with internal Ohana, but since it came up, we will work with it. Okay. So this is, again, we're trying to shift the perception of our identity from life happens to me, I'm a victim of life, to, we're trying to change that to, I am the source of my life, meaning the source in me constantly pouring out of me in whatever frequencies it is, that's what's bringing my life back to me. So in that way, we get to take responsibility for everything that happens. Not as a fault, not as a blame, but again, as we talked about, as a resonant meeting. Yeah, resonance meeting resonance. So in that way, when we start to shift our identity, what happens is we become more an instrument of life rather than a slave to our personality or our conditioned our conditioning. We become an instrument of life rather than a slave to our conditioning. So in order to be an instrument of life, you have to allow life through you. And you have to see that you are that you are that in motion. Okay, other questions, a couple of other homework questions. Is it okay to have what I need? So basically,
Sorry.
okay. Is it okay to have what I need? And the other question is it okay to have what I want? You guys have to decide what it is you need versus what it is you want. So, you know, for most people, they need, you know, a safe place to live and sleep, a roof over their head, food. Maybe what you need versus want, you need a certain amount of freedom in your life. Maybe you need a certain amount of connection with others. You decide what is essential for you in terms of need versus want. And maybe I want, maybe I want so much financial security that I have $1 billion in the bank. And that makes me feel secure, but that's what I want. That's not what I need. Nobody needs $1 billion in the bank, I don't think, unless it's some kind of pathology going on. So is it okay to have what I need? And is it okay to have what I want? Those are two questions for you. Oh, wait, there's 4 questions. Is it okay to have more than just enough?
I'm lost.
You lost? Shall I repeat them?
Is it okay to? Can
These
you
are-
start again? Sorry.
So again, these are 4 homework questions. Is it okay to have what I need? And that's number 1.
To love.
Number 2, is it okay to have what I want? Number 3, is it okay to have more than just enough? So if you look at your need list and you go, that's just the bare minimum of what I need. Is it okay to have more than that? Is it okay to have a lot when some don't have anything? Is that okay with you? And if it's not okay, what do you feel when you have a lot and others don't?
Mhm.
Does anybody off the top of their head? Oh, are you going to do that now? Do you want to do it now? Do you want to work on those questions now? No?
Yeah, for me it's okay.
Okay, so give it a little shot there, and then we can talk briefly about some of the things at the roots of those.
When we're asking ourselves the question, is it like, am I feeling internal resistance, kind of like, so is it okay to have more than just enough? It's like, is there something in me that believes that no, it's not okay? And then you're looking at why is it?
Yeah. So that's exactly right. When you ask yourself that question, what is it that you feel inside? And it's the resistance we're looking for. Yeah. And your answer could be mostly. Is it okay to have what I need? Mostly. But obviously, if you feel like you need a lot more friendship or a lot more love in your life and you don't have it, then clearly it's not okay for you to have all that you need. So it can not just black and white, yes and no. It's like, well, mostly or sometimes, or what is it that you feel in your system, in your body, when you ask yourself these questions? Be really honest with yourself of feelings of discomfort or resistance. So your mind might say, of course, it's okay to have more than just enough, but then your guts or your innards might feel like a little uncomfortable. Or not, just possibilities. I guess the converse question of, is it okay to have when some do not? Is it okay for others to have so much more than I do? Is that okay? Is it okay for other people to have billions and billions of dollars more than I do? Okay, we getting there? All right. Okay. Who would like to start? Anything, did you learn anything about yourself with these questions? Is what I really want to know. What do you feel?
I was really surprised by question number 2. Like, I spent so much time doing vision boards and, you know, imagining what I want. And when I wrote it out, what I wanted and the direct answers, like without thinking about it, I'm actually really surprised. There's a lot of red lights being like, no, no,
Oh.
not okay. But the others, like, is it okay to have a lot when someone doesn't have anything? Yes. And the opposite for other people to have more than me? Yes, because I feel like it's completely an internal thing. So it's like they've cracked it, or that, so no issues there. But the ones like, for example, is it okay to have my own business? I listed out the wants. Yes, because that does good for the world. Autonomy in my career, yes, because that contributes to the world. Deeper emotional intimacy, no. Like, husband, no. One more child, no. Home in Hawaii, which I've wanted my whole life, but the answer that's coming is no. And I kind of know what's feeding into that, like time for myself, no. And then one thing which I don't even know what to do with this is like my own home. So I don't own my own home, and for years this has been the biggest thing. I spent a lot of years like living in shared houses, and like it's only recently enough that I've been able to rent a place, like, you know, well, now for my family. But so when I put down like the type of house I want and stuff, like actually owning this type of house, I couldn't even go to a yes or no, because I'm so sick of being disappointed by wanting it, and sick of wanting it, that I've actually like cut off from. It's like, don't even, in my head I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I'd love that, but this is kind of like, don't even connect with that, because I don't want to be disappointed anymore. Like, whoa, that's a lot from one question.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Not okay to have what you want, for the most part, for a lot of it. Okay. Great. Susanna?
I had the most issues with the same question.
Okay.
But the first question I wanted to ask you, if I understood correctly, that is it okay to love what I need or to have what I need?
To have.
Okay, because I wrote down to love what I need.
Wow, that might be a
I'm
question.
like, interesting.
That's an interesting question, actually. It is.
I'm like, I'm sure I wrote it down wrong.
Hmm.
Or just I wrote it down not nicely, and it looks like love and have is looks similar,
Oh.
but it's have. Okay, sorry.
Okay. You're,
So
you
yes, it's okay to love what I need,
yeah, good. Good.
and to have what I want. I wrote down. Okay, what do I want actually? So I always thought that I was starting. I had this vision board. Also, I always wanted a house and nature and growing my own veggies and herbs and stuff like that. And then the last 8 months, everything changed.
Hmm.
So it's like, do I want to have something too much roots, or so it's like I'm really processing now what I really want. I know I want to help people. I want to do Lomi. So on a chunk up level, I know I want to travel,
Mhm.
but not like so detailed like Greta.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, okay, it's okay to want, but I don't know what. I want many things, but it's still the decompressing or the visions. So it's like the answer is yes, yes, yes. So when I went, yeah,
Okay. Good.
but it's just weird. Like, what do I want?
Yeah, no, I have something for you and everybody with that. So that's great. I'll talk about it after Aurora. Thank you. Aurora, questions, answers?
It is okay to have what I need. Yes. I need for me was also always also a big thema that I wanted also a home with for my animals, like a garden and a place to stay. Like this is really beautiful. But now what I really need is at home who is clean and tidy
Mhm.
more than a home that's just like ego, no? Like just to pretend to be something beautiful, and then I don't have time to be in my home because I have to work for it. So for me, it's more important that in my space is a place where I can afford to be there, but I don't have to pay more than is needed because I want to have time to do other things that pay my home.
Mhm. Mhm.
So for me, it's more important now to have a home, yes, but it's more important to have a home with clean and tidy and where I can relax myself. And then it's important to have organic food and go to the marketplace and have fresh products. And I can cook every day. This is important for me to have time to cook because my idea is that the food is sacred. So I don't want that someone else is doing my food. So, but that's another point. You need time, no? It's something. Or you go to work and you have to go to the restaurant or have fast food, or you have time to cook, but you don't have the other
Yeah.
part.
Are these are needs? These are needs that you're the list.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, what another thing that I love to have and I want to have every day fresh flowers because they give me something beautiful. And something that I need is to train my body and my mind every day. And I need morning practice, morning walks, and energy and beauty.
Beautiful. And what
So
those are the needs. What are the wants?
no, I'm sorry.
Wants.
I need. It's okay. What I want. This is the same. I need it and I want it.
You need it and you want it. Okay, they're combined. Okay. But it's okay to have,
That's the same.
you don't feel any resistance when you look at that list about having those things. You feel like it's
No.
all okay to have. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Is it okay to have more than just enough? My question is, yes, you can have more than just enough, but what is enough? Uh,
Yeah,
Is this enough the real problem?
good question.
Yeah, you know, my enough can be different every day. So
Okay.
it is okay to have more than just enough. I think if you want the things that you need, your enough is. I think enough is not satisfied when you are not satisfied.
Right. Right. So that could be a question you ask yourself every day. Is this enough?
Mhm.
Do I have enough? And feel that each day. And is it okay? Well, if it's not enough, is it okay to have what is enough? And can you do that for yourself?
Yes.
Okay, good. And what,
But it is okay
go ahead.
to have more than some. No, it's better. It is okay to have more than someone who doesn't have anything. I say no, it's not okay, because if I have more, it's coming with a cost. Like we are living now in a country where we are well, but because other countries are not well, so we are an ecosystem. So for my hope is better that everyone is okay, instead our countries, because they are richer, and use other country to be rich, like slavery, like in the past, like bad work situation.
Yeah, I understand that, but we cannot necessarily be the government. So this is personally, is it okay for you to have more than, say, someone in Sudan? Not that there aren't wealthy people in Sudan, but some poor person in Sudan, is it okay for you to have, you personally, to have more than they have right now?
Yeah, but I already have more, so.
Is it okay with you though? Do you feel uncomfortable about that?
Yes, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, I feel, yes.
Okay. Okay. So on that topic, I just want to, I heard it described really well the other day, and I'm just going to pass it on to you. When somebody else is sick, has it ever been helpful for us to get sick to help them? Probably not. When someone is homeless, is it helpful for us to say, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of my home because you're homeless, and I'm also going to live on the street? Not helpful. So it's okay to feel this disparity, this difference, and to want to help. But how can we be of the most help? Not by becoming poor. We can be of the most help by nourishing what we need, and then stepping in from an abundant place to help others. Yeah, but we can't help anybody by being the same as them. So even emotionally, when your child comes in from the playground, your child is hurt and they're crying and they're on the floor and they don't know what to do, the mother doesn't get down on the floor with the child and start screaming and being upset. It's not okay, what happened? Wah. No, the mother picks up the child, puts him on his lap, gives them a hug, takes care of the cut or the owie or whatever it is. Yeah, because the mother is in a place, she's in a position to help. We have to put ourselves in a position where we are I'm not saying to just grab more and more and more money. I'm saying to be, this is these questions, like Aurora's question, how much is enough? What is enough? We all need to decide that for ourselves from a place of connection. Yeah. And then from that place of being nourished, this is when we can be of service to the rest of the world, if that is what we feel. Yeah. So that's, Aurora, just the perspective of this paradigm. So you can take it in or not take it in. That's the perspective. And then Susanna's idea about she doesn't quite know what she wants. Or she's just forming the idea of what she wants. My whole life changed when this question popped up in my awareness and I asked it. And the question was, what is my best use on this planet? How can I best be of service on this planet? And then everything changed for me. So I would ask this question before you go to bed so that you don't spend a lot of mental energy on it and ideas about, oh, well, I could start a whole new aid organization, or I could, these are possible things, but you don't want it to come out of your brain. You want it to come to you. You're asking your system, what is my best use on this planet? And then perhaps watch as things unfold. Okay, so in essence, what you're doing when we re-identify ourselves with source is, and you allow yourself to be an instrument, basically, you're working for the largest corporation in the universe. You're not working for who you think you're working for. You're not working for your clients. You're not working for the earthly corporation that you think you're working for, the company. Even if you were working, say, to please your parents, you're not working for that. You're working for the largest corporation in the universe. So our supply, our stream of supply, does not come from, like, the way I see it and the way this paradigm sees it, is that the universe is offering us supply to be more of use to it, to life. And the supply comes from many places. And who can say the many places that you have received money from? From where? Yeah. Susanna?
No.
I thought you were. Where have you received money from in your whole life? Where has it come from? Your employer?
Parents.
Your parents? Sure. Who else? Anybody else? Clients?
Yeah.
Patients? Mhm.
Foundations. Sorry. Yeah.
Foundations, what does that mean?
But like a actual like foundations within
Oh,
wanted to do and a foundation funded it. Like
grants.
yeah.
Yeah, foundations.
Yeah.
Grants. Anybody else?
Yeah, government,
Government. Gifts.
gifts. Yeah.
So there's a variety of ways that
Oh.
supply. So what else?
Or found money or won money or
Yep. Winning
I
money.
found a lot of money on the floor.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Look at that. Yeah. So there's many, many different ways, and those ways are all not, they're not specific. The supply is not specific to the source. The source, the actual source, is what is providing the supply. Yeah, so when we look back on our lives, we can see that abundance has come through many forms, and the common principle is the stream of supply. The stream of supply is the same as the stream of life, the life force, the abundance that is running through everything. That's just one form of abundance. We also all receive abundance in so many different ways every day just by being alive. The amount of abundance, 100 trillion cells in your body. When you breathe in, just one breath, it goes into 600 million tiny sacs in your lungs. It's astonishing the amount of abundance that we are made of. So you are abundance in motion. You are that. Okay, and then the final exercise today is to create your vision statement for your life. Your vision statement. Which means that everything that you do should be able to reflect back to this reason, your reason for being.
Can you repeat? Vision? Create vision?
Vision statement. Like, Creda, do you have a vision statement for your company? Who has done a vision statement before?
I did, but it's changed. So like before it was I can't word it properly, but it was basically about helping people to heal themselves through means that would be meaningful to them. Like, so basically I'm working with traders who wouldn't do self-awareness work, or athletes, but they're doing it because they want to like, you know, they want to perform or whatever. So my idea was like bringing this type of deep self-analysis to people who wouldn't normally do it, like healing people, kind of that thing, but it's changed. So now I don't know.
Okay, but that's just an example. So I think I wrote one that said, to inspire the optimum connection with source in myself and humanity, to enhance vitality, gratitude, creativity, and joy. So whatever I do, I have to boil down, it has to be connected with that. So in other words, if I now go and rob a bank or something, that's not in alignment with who I've said I am, right? This is what is your reason for being in this world? And try to make it not like, it shouldn't be things like, well, I'm here to do lomi lomi. It's not so specific, because what if it changes? What if life changes and you are doing something else? It can still be connected to this mission statement. Vision.
Can you repeat yours just for the example? Because
to inspire the optimum connection with source in myself, and I put humanity, basically all that I meet, anybody I meet, for enhancing vitality, gratitude, creativity, and joy.
thanks.
So if that isn't my foundation for my actions, then I shouldn't be doing it. I shouldn't be acting. It may change after you ask this question, what is my best use on the planet? So do what you think now, and then after you ask that question, just see if anything has changed. Why are you here? What is your reason for being? What brings you the most well-being, satisfaction? What makes you say, yes, this in the broad sense, the quality. You may find it by looking into the past and seeing where you have felt deeply connected and satisfied, and then kind of put some definitive qualities onto that experience. If you can look back on your life and find a time like that and say, oh, that's what I want to feel all the time. That's what I want my focus to be all the time. So this mission statement should be interchangeable with any job that you have. It shouldn't necessarily be. You can do this in many, many different ways. So mine, if I want to inspire the optimum connection with source and myself, blah, 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 I could do it as a yoga, maybe. I could do it in what I'm doing, or I could even do it. Yeah, there's many different options. It shouldn't be specific to a particular type of work.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
jump.
Aurora. We are upside down. Who has,
Yes,
are you there?
because it has to charge. It's out of.
I love the,
I don't know where to put it.
okay, no worries, that's okay. I miss seeing your smiling face, but that's okay. As long as I know you're there, it's all good. Okay, so does anybody have possibilities? Or beginning possibilities? Yes, Kreda?
I don't think this will be the final one. It's just what's coming to me now, but to use my connection with source to lift myself and others to live the highest expression of their potential and experience empowerment, love, connection, and joy.
Beautiful. And how does that make you feel when you read it?
I think it is like, yeah, I think it's almost there, and it makes sense in everything I've done career-wise and in friendships, and it like that is genuinely that thing about empowerment and lifting people to their potential, like that is my kind of
And it's
reason for
important.
being.
Yeah, it's important to include yourself. And I'm glad you put yourself there first. Yeah, good. Zana, do you have yet something, a beginning?
I do, and I just want to live from my heart, and I want to be aligned and to live Pono, and to enjoy life and on this planet and in this body, and to share this joy with people, and to help people to find their own joy in their life and in themselves, and to be also aligned to enjoy this planet. We are here to be happy and to live life. I think at least this is my how I see it,
Yeah.
and also to enjoy the beauty of the life from the nature, and to connect with the nature and with the elements, and to see the world that we are connected. And also, yeah,
I think that, you know, when you got to the nature part and the world, it's supposed to be like a concise statement.
okay,
I would leave out the nature part in the world because all the things you talked about before could be in very many different environments.
yeah, okay,
Everything that includes nature and food and love and sharing, and you know what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I agree with you and I hear you, but I think it's already included.
okay.
Good. And Aurora, do you have a statement?
So my statement is your questions that you felt when I felt deeply connected to myself is when I am able to create something beautiful for others and for myself, like creating beautiful moments, like events, and beautiful photos, like to create something that is staying in the memories, like a piece of art. I don't know. To when you invite people to dinner and you take to do a beautiful table with beautiful decoration, that is satisfied me. For me, satisfaction, something like that.
Yeah, perfect. That's it. Like every little thing that you do should be an expression of this. And it could be just making a meal for people and creating the beauty.
Yeah, or for me, yes, for myself and for the other, like the same impact.
Yes, exactly. You're doing it for you. It's very important to include you in that scenario. Yeah. So keep pondering that this week. The mission statement, go back to it and look at it and notice if any parts of your life right now you don't feel that. And then look at what can you do to change the way you're doing what you're doing to make this true. You should be able to do your mission statement, embody it in any environment. Yeah, we should, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but, and then your other additional homework this week. Well, I think you have enough homework. You have quite a bit of homework already. So maybe we X this homework. So the homework has been, ask yourself, well, there's one before. Did anybody write down all the homework in one place?
Notice any aspect of what of you that seems to take over you, and
Okay.
not when you notice, you take a breath and you just continue.
Okay.
I think that was one homework.
Yes.
You said finish the what have you given yourself? Like keep reflecting on that.
Yeah. That one.
Oh yeah.
And if there's any of the, is it okay to have what I need, want more? I think everybody more or less completed that, but if you're not complete with that, go ahead and finish that. And then your question, what is my best use on the planet?
Mhm.
And then if you want to double check or refine your vision statement, if anything else, and that might change again after what is my best use on this planet. So when you ask that question before you go to bed, the idea is that what will be answered will be coming through your body, not necessarily your mind. So you may have different energetic sensations in the body. You might have different physical sensations. You might have a dream that night. You might wake up with a song in your head and you listen to the words and you're like, oh, what are those words all about? You may wake up with a feeling of lightness or openness or focus or whatever. Pay attention to that whole movie of your whole system once you ask that question. Pay attention in a really embodied physical way and see what happens. Okay. And then write it down so you can tell us all what happened, if anything. I wanted to say to Susanna, particularly in those, and there's other people who will be listening to this who are givers, they're more have the giving, generous family member, is that remember that all the things that you wrote on this list that you gave to yourself, you also received. You received everything. You gave to yourself and you received it. You allowed it to happen. And so just recognize your own receptivity, not just the giving side of things. Okay. Sure. Any questions, guys, or discoveries or reflections from?
I have one question on the 4 questions exercise. So like, I'm just going back to this. Where is this? Yeah, is it okay to have what I want? And if your answer is no to those things, what do you do with that then? Or is that like next week?
It might be next week. Let's see. It's gonna get unwound a bit for sure next week, but let's see if there's anything we can do with it this week.
I know from the mental perspective of like following it to the bit, like pure from the mind, but I'm just wondering, is there anything else?
Yeah.
And my question 3 was, is it okay to have more than just enough? And the answer was no, it's not safe, but very specifically, like you'll be seen, kind as in, yeah. Okay. So there's like, I can see there's a specific block, but I know mentally how to work through that, but I don't know or anything else that I could do to.
Not necessarily a mental thing because emotions aren't logical, right? So we would see these also as family members, whatever is the resistance in you. Some family member is like, it's not okay. And if you can feel into who that is, maybe it's the part of you that is afraid of being seen, afraid of being powerful, afraid of your own power, whatever it is. If you feel into that and if you can identify that family member more, great. If you can't, it doesn't matter. Same thing, but do it on a different night. So what you would do, ask that family member, say, hey, I did this course on Sunday. I saw you pop up as this part of me that doesn't allow what I want. Can you tell me more about yourself? So in this paradigm, instead of trying to get rid of what we don't want, like that part of ourselves, we actually embrace it and bring it closer and say, hey, I noticed you. Talk to me. You're part of my family. Tell me more about you. And then same thing, just check with your body, listen, feel. You might wake up with a dream or a realization or a feeling and make a note of that. And you can do that a few nights in a row if you want. Who are, tell me more. You might have a dream about your childhood when you were told it's not okay to have the candy. Like
Yeah.
It'll get a chance to express itself. When you reach out to life, life reaches out to you. So this being of your resistance is alive, and it's talking to you. It wants to be seen. And so you're going to call it to you and say, hey, I see you. Now tell me things. Call you without judgment, just with acceptance. It's just a part of you.
And that's just like the global piece of you that isn't okay with what you want, not like the specifics, like the house in Hawaii, that you're not talking to a different Ohana member for each of those.
You could be, but it sounds like there is one commonality. There may be different ones, and the different ones would have to do with specific reasons why. But if there is one that just says, like, for instance, I don't deserve that, or that's going to mean I'm somebody else than who I see myself as. If you determine that there's different ones, like maybe the ones for the business are about being seen and the ones for having more stuff, you may discover that there's a part of you that it's not okay to have. It's okay to have this much, but it's not okay to have this much. Like, you may think that it's okay to have this much, but obviously there's a part of you that is not letting you go past a certain threshold. So what I would say is that the proof is in the pudding. If you really believed it was okay to have more, perhaps you would have it.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Thanks.
Anybody else? Questions? All good? Okay. Aurora, I hope you're feeling better this week and ongoingly. Me too. She says me too, right on. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I can't wait to hear what happens.
Thanks, Trudy.
Thank you so much.
With this. Yay.
Oh, there's a cat coming.
Sorry?
There's a cat coming. I saw your cat.
I didn't see. She just walked under. Yeah. Laka says hi. You have gotten a blessing from life. Okay, guys. Aloha. Take good care.
Aloha, mahalo.
Ciao.
Okay. Aloha.